Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be going over the top 5 static probe words for 2022 and beyond. So I made the video pretty similar. So this is one of the last year, and since then many factors have changed. So I thought it would be helpful if we run down on the top 5 brokers firms for this coming year, and I'm really gonna try to include a broker for everyone on this list. So if you are US based, or if you are international, or if you are looking to do some long-term investments, or maybe you are trying to do some day trading, option trading, pretty stocks, whatever it may be, I think this video will be helpful for you. So let's not waste any time here. I really hate when people make this long video intros. So number 5 on this list is going to be Vanguard, and I really wanted to mention this factual institution first because I think that regardless of what type of investors you are, I think it's really important for everyone to have that retirement account or some type of account for the long-term investing. So even if you're doing the day trading, I think it's important to have that spirit account for long-term investing. So that's definitely what Vanguard is best known for it. So Vanguard is definitely the brokerage firms that you will want to open up a broker account with and set up your ERA or some other type of retirement account with, and then to continuously invest in the index funds or mutual funds or ETFs for the rest of your life. Now the average expense ratio on the Vanguard funds on the 0.12% and the industry average is 0.62%. So that's definitely the best part about Vanguard, the fact that you can invest your money with such low fees. They also have their pretty decent investors educations page, which is something that I would deemed to be pretty essential to and beginner investors who before we moved on the next broker firms. I do need to mention that Vanguard is probably not the broker that you want to be actively buying and selling stocks, or simply because they are not really meant for that. They are meant for the long-term index funds, mutual funds, those type of the long-term investments. So if you want to day trade in Vanguard, is definitely not the options for you, but just keep that in mind, because that then the next broker that would be talking about it's interactive brokers. This is the really great broker for anyone who is looking to get into the trading on the regular basis or considering getting into the penny stocks or even the options trading, right? So now I've heard a lot of the great things about this company. I have talked to the people all over the world through my YouTube channel who really have nothing but praise for interactive bro. So I thought it's really deserves a spot on this list for those of you who are looking to get into the trading on the frequent basis. So they have considerably low commissions and fees. You will ended up paying about 5 cents per share in the commission if you want to do any options trading. You will be paying about 70 cents per contract, which I would consider to be pretty low. In terms of the fees for that, so their trading platforms is excellent, but maybe a little bit too excellent for the beginner traders, because there is a ton of the moving parts, and if you are new to investing, you might find interactive broker to be a bit overwhelming at first, but they also have their reasonably low margin rates. So that's something that I would personally avoid along here, just buying a margin. But if you're some who experienced in It is nice to know that interactive brokers can definitely supply you with pretty low rates for when you are trying to buy on the margin. Now, one of the downside of the international brokers and really the reasons why is number four is this Swiss is that there is a good chance that you will need to have an account minimum of at least $10,000, and so if you are just starting off, it's probably not that easy. Just find 10 grands laying around your house to put into your account. But if you are under 25, you only need $3,000 open up account with interactive broker. Those that still may be a high number for some people, and that's really why this broker is number four on this list and not higher. But this is definitely a broker firm for more advanced traders and people who are gonna be trading every day or maybe every week, and very actively with their investments. So if you are trying to do long-term investments, I would probably shy away from the interactive brokers because they do charge your fees if you aren't actively investing and actively trading every month. So just keep that in mind as well. Let's get into the next three broker firms. All right, so let's move on in number three, which is going to be Fidelity, and Fidelity is a great overall broker firms, but the reasons why I'm really putting it on this list is due to their research capabilities on this platform. So Fidelity has one of the best research platforms, and this is not going to be something that you're gonna want to overlook. So a lot of people these days have stockbroker apps like Robinhood, for example, which is great. I love Robinhood. I use Robinhood all the time, but it's extremely important to do all in-depth analysis on each company before making any investments. So Fidelity charged $4.95 per trade, which a few years ago would be considered probably extremely low for fees, but these days it's probably somewhere middle of the road in terms of the fees. But really the reasons why I like Fidelity is because it gives you a lot of flexibility, so you can set up some really great retirement account with Fidelity, or you can actively trade on their platforms. They offer a wide variety of the possibilities, and that's why I think if you had to open any one account, if you were only able to open up one broker's account, I think I would go with Fidelity. There is no accounts alone, so it definitely doesn't hurt to at least open up account with the firms. Check out their platforms, see if you like it, and then if you don't like it, just open up a different account. It's really not that difficult. So let's move on to number two, which I originally thought was gonna be Scottrade, but they recently got acquired by TD Ameritage. I was gonna bump it off this week for this year because they do charge $7 transaction fees for every time you buy or sell stocks. But I had to leave it on this list for one reason, and that's for the fact that they acquired Stocktrade, which means that they now have over 360 physical offices locations throughout the United States, and I think that's something that I would personally be willing to pay a few extra dollars for. So having that branch locations near you is something that I believe is going to be worth of that extra cost, especially if you are the beginner investors and you may have some questions and you want to speak to someone who is fluent in your language that you can easily understand. Sit down and desk with, and they can walk you through exactly how to use their investing platforms. I think that's the great options, and that's something that really is invaluable to help somebody, really help you out with that. So they also have thinker swings, which is good for the day trading, and different type of the short-term players. But really, guys, I can't stress that enough. That having the customer services right here, where you can walk and you can say, hey, can I get a check from my account, like withdraw some money from my account, and they will help you right there on the spot in person. It's just so nice, but overall you will be paying a little bit more in fees and commissions, but most of those fees are what's really gonna to be found in your local branch locations, which I consider to be worth it. If you're investing for the long term, $7 versus $4 or $0, it's really not gonna to be that much the difference. So the number one broker for the 2022 has to be Robinhood. This broker free trading, which may sound kind of strange at first, but Robinhood is a very legitimate broker firms with millions of investors using their services every day. So this is the one that I'm going to honest. I was extremely skeptical of the Robinhood at first, because it just seems too good to be true. Like someone told me, oh, you can invest into the stock market with zero commissions. You don't pay it. Anything and I was like, man, that's not possible, but it is true. And I will tell you that a lot of the people on the Wall Street are probably getting scared of the Robinhood, because they continue to grow very quickly and they are totally changing the game when it comes to how people invest. So Robinhood is an app where you, when there is absolutely zero fees, no strings attached, absolutely free, no account minimum to get started. I will leave the link for it download if you want to download the app and get started today. So the one downside of the Robinhood is that because they don't charge you any fees, they definitely do cut costs in the certain areas. So like I said, research it can be a lot more difficult on Robinhood here. They don't have physical office locations, so you can't just walk in and talk to somebody like that. But what I did notice, and I was very surprised by this, is that their customer services, every time I call their customer services, I have the great experience with it, and I'm gonna be honest, like I actually was pretty surprised by this. Just see that, because when I called, I was not expecting some, gonna from the Oklahoma to answer the phones to be the Robinhood's customer services, and really walk me through and very personable through this whole process with my Robinhood account. I was very surprised by that. I don't know about you guys. If you have had any bad experience with Robinhood, let me know down below. But I personally just never had any bad experience. Everything being working great for my Robinhood account. I have had it for over a year now, and really no problems with it. I think I would definitely go with the Robinhood accounts if you just started to get into the stocks. You just want to get your feet but maybe you just want to invest a little bit of the money. I think Robinhood would be the awesome idea, because like for example, when I first started investing, I first started in the 2009, and I bought one share of the center fair of the $12, and I'm not even kidding. I kid you not. A trade cost $10 per transactions feedback in 2009. So I paid $10 for the transactions fee to buy $12 stocks. I was 11 years old, so I didn't really know what was going on. But when you have these transactions fees, these high transactions fees for when you have a small account, it's definitely difficult to sort of the good start, and that's and actually be worse. Your time and your money to actually invest into the stocks, because most people when they first start investing, they are not gonna have $10,000 $20,000 put into the stocks market right off the bat. So that's why if you have the smaller amount of the money, I would definitely consider using Robinhood. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but they are only available in the United States and I think in Australia possibly. You got the fact checked me that one, but hopefully Robinhood does expand into the rest of the world. I think in the coming years. Also, at the moment, as of the February 2022, you have to be 18 to open a Robinhood account. They don't have the custodial account available to use. So if you are a minor, if you're somebody who are under 18, I would suggest opening an account with some thing like TDM, Ameritrade, or Fidelity, or the Vanguard, and then you just have to pay an extra fee for every time you buy the self stocks. So I think that's about for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.